43. It's Monday. It's still October 25th, and I'm really happy to have you here in this wonderful morning briefing show to see what we can do this week, to have a kind of overview, to find new trading ideas, to manage the running trades, and do a little bit live trading with DEX 10 minutes. I'm looking forward to have you here for the rest of the week too, every morning, Monday to Friday. 8:30, right before the markets open. And we stream this show live on YouTube as well. If you watch it on YouTube or maybe later as a recording, don't forget to subscribe, the button right corner. You can give us a like if you want, or you can leave a comment below the video afterwards. So actually, the chat is open. Good morning, Gertz, Barry, Darom, Vladimir, good morning. And here on Zoom also. Thanks to Nastia, she's opening the show and supporting me with everything else. So yeah, by the way, let me give you a quick reminder. After the show, we have this survey where you can answer 3 questions about the content of this show. So even you did it last week, maybe we do it every day. Maybe you have every day something new ideas. We can talk about it. So this survey is an ongoing process every day for new people. They are in this show, or if you have a new idea, then feel free to be a part and to join this survey after the show. The moment you get offline, that occurs on the homepage where you can join this survey. Okay, so now let's share my screen. And let me fix this one. So, good morning, guys, on Zoom too. And here we go. Fine. I hope you're doing good. And more than that, I hope you had a great weekend. At the best, far away from any kind of trades or candles or whatever there is. And I hope you spend a lot of time with your family, your kiddies, your grandkids, whatever there is, with your dog, with your pets or whatever. So most you are happy, you were happy at the weekend. And now you're ready to rumble and ready to see what we can do today. Okay, so first of all, let's see what we expect this week. We have a really, really busy day. Barry, thanks a lot. That wasn't necessary, by the way. Okay, today we don't expect any interesting things, but tomorrow, as always, the API weekly. Then on Wednesday, we expect the Bank of Canada interest rate. Let's see. Then on Thursday, we expect the Japan monetary policy. Then the ECB rate announcement is this week, and for the rest of the week, yeah, we talk about. Okay, so 3 things: Japan, Canada, and ECB this week. Very interesting show. Be carefully with your Canadian trades or Japan trades or Euro trades if you are a day trader, kind of day trader which is lower than 4 hours. If you only trade in 4 hours or maybe daily chart, then you don't care about that because the effect is not that much. Okay, so that's numbers. Let me invite you to our specific webinars, except of this trading of this morning briefing show. So on Wednesday, we expect Paul again when he is talking about scalping US indices on the 1-minute chart. So this is a kind of making money in a very fast and quick way. And if you can trust someone, then this is Paul, because Paul is really famous and really extremely ordinary and extraordinary trader, a lot of success. So follow him and you will learn a lot of things about scalping US indices on the 1-minute chart. In case you love it a little bit more calm, then I'm your man, because we trade in 10 minutes and in 4-hourly chart and in daily chart for the long-term success. Okay. Oh, by the way, if you have an Instagram account, then I want to invite you to follow Admirals Globals here on YouTube. On Jesus, Instagram. Jesus Christ. So let's go, and we start with 10 minutes here. We stopped yesterday on Friday. We stopped here with this downtrend. Yeah, and by the way, was it a real downtrend here? Yeah, they were close. There was a close. So, which means that was another move. And then we had the trend break. The trend break will happen here, which means afterwards we had a new uptrend. And this uptrend starts here. This one. So that's first trend arm. And this is the second trend arm because there was a close above the last point 2, which means we are still in the second trend arm. In the second trend arm, you know, the second trend arm has the highest probability to continue, and which means it should continue here above this last point 2. So the correction is running in its own downtrend, but the main trend is still facing upwards with its own probability to reach the point 2 or maybe to see a close and a trend continuation. It's a little bit tricky because we are within the red zone and the price is, yeah, literally fair priced, fair valued. So everything can happen by the way. And we can see that the correction is running in its own trend. And this is this one. Move, correction, move. Oh, by the way, you see second trend arm and cool, right? We reached its own point 2 with a small trend continuation. And there were the signals here roundabout. There were the signals to go short. So, but that was the correction. As you can see, you can make money in both directions if you know what happens and if you know you can work with probabilities because you don't have a guarantee, by the way. Okay, so actually, but this is the main trend. The pink trend is the main trend with its own probability to reach the point 2. Okay, so let's go to our focus charts and we start with our running trade in Euro USD. And the focus trades, I personally on this account, I trade in 4-hourly charts too. The rest I'm trading in in daily chart because I have to make sure that I don't miss a signal. So actually in Euro USD, we reached our main target, which is the probability to overcome the last point 2. We did it with the trend continuation, which means we sold half the position. Stop loss is round about last point 3. And now we are just waiting. If you see the next trend continuation, actually, this is the last point 3, actually with a question mark, because as long as we don't have a new point 2, this is a point 3 with a question mark because the correction is always able to continue or to extend here in its own depth. Okay, so this is just let it go. And you know, we talked about last week, we want to make this experience together, not to intervene into that trade, because the point of control is up here at 121.26. And actually, there is not really an obstacle in the way up to the point of control. So therefore, we want to make this experience to have this feeling to let the trend running, yeah, and not to intervene. Actually, with this selling of half a position, trailing stop loss, we are fine. So, and maybe we will see a trend continuation, and then we can trail the stop loss to the last point 3. So, and then everything is fine. So then we cannot lose money. Actually, we have a zero game with this with this that we sold half the position and the stop loss is there. It's a kind of zero game. So, but if you say a trend continuation, maybe, then we can trail the stop and then we are fine. Then we are in profit and then you can let it go. I hope you can make this experience together. DAX 40 in 4-hourly chart. It's a kind of trend. Still, it's a kind of trend. And it's this one, move, correction, move, correction. And as I said, please, if you want to trade it, then open a position here close to the 0.2 maybe. Yeah, and this happens. Maybe you are in. So just let it go. Maybe it's a cool idea to, that's the 0.3 here actually. So maybe a stop loss there. Yeah, or maybe trail the stop loss here bar by bar or with inside outside bars, because 0.2 is the overcoming 0.2 is the final, is the target, or maybe the point of control. So just let it go. You know, the probability is extremely high that we see a new 0.2, or actually we go back to the point of control. So maybe you ask why I don't make this trade, because I'm short in daily chart. So, and I don't make two trades in the same underlying, of course not. So here we go. This is Dow Jones. And the trend is in Dow Jones is literally too old for me, because it was this one, move, correction, move, correction. So there was the chances here, next one and next one. And here we go. There was no trend continuation right now. So, but your chances in 4-hourly chart were here. So there were the big chances here to go up, and you see it worked again. I was not part of it because at that time I had a short position in daily chart. Then Bitcoin. We saw in Bitcoin last week an all-time high. So, and actually the price is going down a bit. So just in the correction, trend is still valid. Yeah, and maybe we have a new corrective downtrend in 4-hourly chart. And maybe this one, move, correction, move. And here we go in a correction. As long as we don't overcome this last 0.3, we can speculate that we see a trend continuation at this 0.2. You know, that's the second trend arm, and the second trend arm has the highest probability. And maybe we go back a little bit to the point of control. Yeah, this will not destroy in daily chart the big uptrend, but yeah, it's a possibility to trade a correction. So maybe I'm waiting here in Bitcoin. I'm waiting here for a balance candle that I can go short to speculate on my probability. Okay, then we have the gold chart. So in a gold chart, we saw another uptrend. I hope you were a part of this one, because we had this situation here. There was a chance to see this. So actually, be carefully, no trend continuation here, no trend continuation. So just nothing to do for the moment here. Your chance was in the second trend arm. There was your balance candle. That was the 0.2. And here we had the close above it. Here you see that was the breakout to the last 0.2. Or you had the next chance there with the balance candle, run about there. So in direction here, and you see it worked again. Why is it? Why do we have this high probability in a second trend arm? Yeah, the price is cheap. Yeah, we have cheap price. You know, the moment you understand what you do in trading, and it's literally what I said and what you can hear, it's trading. It's not something you get with you at home. So you cannot, of course, you can buy a nugget of gold, yeah, and you can put it in your safe at home, maybe if you want. But actually, here we are to trade. So you don't trade gold. You trade the price of gold. So in the moment you think about the price, there is a kind of business principle. And the business principle is called buying cheap and selling expensive. Yeah. So this is what you have to do. So the moment, what is your job? Your job is to find a cheap price in a spotlight. This is the trend trading, out of the correction up to the point 2 or vice versa short, and basically a young trend when the price is cheap, especially in general. And at the best, overall, if you have really cheap price, like with this market profile indicator in a green area, and go back to the point of control. So everything is circling around one principle: buying cheap and selling expensive. And this is the nature of trading, because everybody has to trade the same, especially the big traders. And the big money, or the smart money we call it, they always trade this, and they influence that kind of price because they made it the accumulation phase. They give us the kickstart for the accumulation phase, and to end and to finish the accumulation phase, because the rest is made by the market. So maybe Bitcoin just done small pullback before moving forward, maybe towards 100,000 US price till end of year. I don't know, and I don't care about such expressions and sentences, because I don't predict the market, because I'm not the one who can influence the price. So therefore, years ago, I stopped interpreting. My teacher taught me, do your job. And the job is to make a trade, buying, cheaping, selling, snapping, and stop this stupid interpreting the market where the price can be at any time. Who knows? And who cares? You don't have an advantage if you do this kind of interpreting. That's the human part. I know. For us, it's hard because as a human being, you always love to things you have in your head to control things. And then you come to trading and you must realize you can control literally nothing. But the human part is, I want to know what will happen. But this ends in a disaster, because the point of interpreting means you have an opinion, which is basically not the problem. But this having an opinion influences your decisions. And this is the disaster. As long as you can fulfill your decisions, that you can make sure that you have this kind of guarantee, which means you have to influence the price, that will happen what you think, then it's okay. At the end, you don't need a strategy, because then you take your money, influence the price, and the price is doing whatever you want. But if you are not a part of those guys, then you have to work with a strategy, which means you have with a probability. And probability never means interpreting. Strategy means having a kind of checklist. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, check, go. If there's one check you cannot make, go away, because that means probabilities. And this is what you have to do. The rest is human part. But you know, there must be a reason why 80% of all traders fail in trading around the world, by the way. And not only the small traders, the big traders also. Why is it? It's this, let me say it very clearly, damaged human part. We have forgotten to think in a logical way, especially in trading. As a consequence, we trade in an emotional way, which means we interpret, we judge, we think it could be, or maybe it should be. No, nothing else of that. Your job is to think in a logical way. And logic means, okay, if I cannot work with guarantees, I have to work with probabilities. And probabilities means you need a strategy. And strategy means you have fixed conditions. And fixed condition means you have a positive expectation value. And this means you have to stick to these conditions on the right side. The moment you don't stick to the rules on the right side, you cannot expect that you become successful on a long run. Everything else is based on a coincidence. So, and I guess all of us, we are here to make money on a long run, to be more happy, right? So think about it. Could be very interesting. So let's see British pound, US dollar. Actually, trend is still valid. It's too old. And as I said, we reached a point of control. We saw it last week already. And yeah, that's the focus trades for the moment. So actually, I have only 2 trades open. And this is Euro USD we talked about. And we have DAX 40 is still open in daily chart. It's still open because the trend is still valid. My stop loss is above the last 0.3. We are still in a second trend arm, and I expect, and based on my probabilities, which is never 100%, yeah, based on my probabilities, I speculate that we finally see a trend continuation on the lower side. Okay, before we go to some interesting trading ideas for this week or for today, let's talk about the poll of today. My question for you today is, thanks Nastia, what are you, as every Monday, what are your trading goals for this week? And I expect that any Monday we have a higher percent that you have goal. So what's your trade? What are your trading goals for this week? So first one, I want to stick to the rules under all circumstances. Under all circumstances. What kind of rules do you ever have, by the way? Or I must find a specific date when I want to become successful. So find your choice. Okay, then we have on my watch list still 2 shares. It's LyondellBasell, which is, yeah, my trend here. Move, correction, and move. Yeah, move and correction. So I'm still waiting for a trend continuation here. As long as you don't see the trend break here, the probability is higher that we see a trend continuation. Still a break above the last 0.2. Still, I have a pending order there. Also, Host Hotels still there. Maybe coming closer right now to an entry, because this is the trend. Move, correction, move, and the correction. And you know, that's the 0.2. That's the 0.2. And here we go. We will see this trend continuation above the last 0.2. So that's the target. And then we will see. And I set my pending order higher because I realized that we are circling around the point of control. And I want to see that there are enough volume on the buyer side that it can overcome the point of control, that finally we see the 0.2. So on 4-hourly charts, I have more than one trading ideas for you. And this is US dollar, Japanese yen. So, and here we go. So if you trade 4-hourly chart and you have this on your list, then this is yours. Second trend arm, move, correction, move, second correction. So maybe you can pending order there to speculate on a trend continuation lower side. By the way, point of control is quite far away. So maybe you can sell half the position if you have a close lower than the last 0.2, can trail the stop loss, that's the plan, and maybe trade in direction of the point of control. And as you can see, there is literally no obstacle on my way down to the point of control. Yeah, so just do it. If you have US dollar, Japanese yen on your list, and in case you can handle 4-hourly chart. So then Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, still like last week, by the way. This is the trend. Here we go. So, and as I said, you can, with this red line, you can open a trade there. So we are still in a correction, but still speculating on a trend continuation. By the way, point of control is quite far away on the upper side. So there was a balance candle in the last 4 hours again. So maybe you can open a trade there too and speculating on a trend continuation here, you know, highest probability. Then Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, still down to same like in US dollar, Japanese yen. And here we go, move. Correction, move, because there was a close. Now we are in a correction. Just wait for a bit balanced candle, or maybe you can set a kind of catastrophic order in case the price will jumping down very quickly, then you are part of it. Don't miss it. It's a second trend on. Don't miss it. Yeah. And by the way, point of control is far away too. So the next obstacle is around about there. So, but this is enough. That's completely not to make money. Who cares what comes afterwards? This is your job, is never miss the second entry. There is a point too, and that's the second trend arm. That's the second trend arm here. Don't miss it. Yeah. Have a good chance for short trading New Zealand Japanese 4-hour chart too. I'm not sure. Yeah, there are kind of Japanese pairs too. Yeah, it's the same like in the other one. The same one, New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar, US dollar, Japanese yen. We all have this in all trades. So trading in all underlyings, we have this kind of situation. So in case you have this on your list, then don't miss the entry here. Okay, so I have you have in your list. In daily chart, actually, there are not so many trading ideas. I have a couple of one of my list here on my watch list here, a lot of things, but if there is really a great chance, then we'll inform you tomorrow. Today, there is no trading idea in daily chart. So keep calm, be patient. That is what we have to do. So my question for you today was, what are your trading goals for this week? So first, I want to stick to the rules under all circumstances, and I must find a specific date when I want to become successful. Let me talk about the second one. Thanks God, 88% said, I want to stick to rules under all circumstances. How you can handle this? If you have a real big why. Why do you want to become successful in trading? Why is it? It's not to make money. That's the first step. But when you see you can stick to rules and you lose money, then money is not longer your motivation. There must be another one. Because if you have this on your list, I want to stick to the rules under all circumstances. This includes for me that you're still struggling with that. If there were money, a real why, then you wouldn't struggling with that, right? Logic. It's pure logic. If where money are real and the strongest why, you would never fail, right? You would never fail, but you fail. Why is it? Because money is not a real why. It's the first why you come out to trading, but finally it's not longer your why. Think in a logical way. So find another one. Maybe whatever it is, you want to spend money for your wife to make her happy. Happy wife, happy life. That's an unwritten principle in our life. Yes. Or maybe you want to spend for the kiddies. Or maybe you want to spend money for other people to make others happy, and happiness comes back to you. So what's your real why? This is what can you help. And the same one is valid for a master specific date when I want to become successful. So do you have a date? A real specific date. For example, when is the date when you can say, I never fail about the rules? When is it? Oh, you have no one. But that's stupid, right? No goal, no plan, no real why. So today, Monday, 25th of October, is the day you have to sit down, take your handwritten diary and set a date. Set a date. Be realistic, but not to be tomorrow, or maybe next week. Set a specific date when you can type in your handwritten diary, I have so many routines, I never fail. Without a date, I promise you, you will never become successful. Believe me, I was searching and looking for the Holy Grail for 7 years. I wasted 7 years of my life for finding something else what is never there. Then my teacher comes around and he told me the logic things in trading and such things like real why. So I hope you can give me a proper answer on Friday when I will ask you, did you reach your goals this week? And I want to have a screenshot from you, from your handwritten diary, where I can see a date. Are you strong enough to give me this screenshot? Maybe in the trader's yard, or send it to email, or send it to Admirals. Make a screenshot with your name on it, with your date. Are you strong enough? That's challenge accepted, right? So guys, thanks for listening. Have a wonderful Monday. Have a great week with a lot of goals. And if you need something, ask me, because I'm here for you all the time. Have courage and be kind, and may the force of the rules